Informous' hidden Hard Rock FC on Satori de Pon is probably one of the coolest scores in the entire game. What's funny is I don't even need to say anything about the score. Just look at the leaderboard. Up until a few months ago, it was the only non-halftime play above 500 combo. And for good reason. I mean, I don't think any of you would consider these kinds of patterns fun, and it's obvious the mapper was just trolling around. If you look into the map thread, you can see this diff was added much later than the rest, likely out of frustration from not getting the map ranked. The map set is loved, so this diff getting a leaderboard along with the rest of the map set is a bit of a happy accident. This isn't a one-time thing either, as scouring the love section can find hit sound diffs, off-screen objects, and plenty of 10-second unfinished diffs. It motivates people to push for scores that they otherwise would have shrugged off because, come on, we all know it looks cool to have your name on that global leaderboard tab. That brings us back to Satori de Pon. So what makes this score so special? Well, first of all, the patterns are pretty weird. The rhythm choices seem nonsensical, and they don't seem to follow any sort of pattern. I feel like it's pretty easy to see that there's something wrong, but if you're not too familiar with Osu patterns, it may be hard to find words for it. The main difference between this and most other breakcore maps is that it pretty much requires you to full alt, as the map is entirely 1/4 rhythms or holding down sliders. If you're also unfamiliar how rhythms usually work in Osu, let me just give you a brief rundown. With BPM, mappers generally use 1/4 rhythm for streams and 1/2 rhythm for jumps. With normal breakcore maps, usually there will be a 1/2 rhythm gap between streams, similar to a jump in timing. With Satori de Pon, however, there's literally no breaks throughout the whole map, with there only being a 1/4 gap between the current object and the next, making the map play like one long stream. This makes it extremely stamina draining, much more so than any other stamina practice maps you might have seen. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if the map was only 180 or 200 BPM, something people are generally more comfortable with, but Satori de Pon is 235 BPM and 2 minutes and 10 seconds straight of just death. Now, stamina is easily the hardest part of obtaining an FC, and it's really hard to convey how draining these patterns are on your stamina without just playing it for yourself. This is so much harder than any death stream or long stream practice map because the fact you're constantly starting new streams means you have to keep up that BPM for the entire time, or else you'll just miss. Not to even mention the amount of practice that would go into you even attempting to FC this map. It really isn't a map you could just luck out on a sight read. Though at the same time, it's very difficult to play this for long periods of time, because every attempt will be a major hit towards your stamina. Now, it's kind of funny I went this entire time without even mentioning the map's stats. Just looking at them makes it look like some terrifying No-Mod 6. I think the strangest parts are the AR7 and OD5, which make the map insanely dense on No-Mod, and pretty much explains why everyone on the leaderboard has Hard Rock. The lowish OD is also nice to have, because with the rhythm in the map being practically randomly generated, it's quite hard to tap this accurately. Though a caveat of basically being forced to use Hard Rock is the map goes from HP 8 all the way to HP 10, making it insanely easy to fail with just one misread. Okay, now having that all laid out, I hope you can see why Informous' hidden Hard Rock FC is so impressive. For a long time, that score was practically mythical, an untouchable score whose existence just felt impossible. You would see people mention it in passing, but it either seemed like the right players weren't trying the map, or the score really was that tough to match. Now, remember the leaderboard I showed at the beginning? Yeah, I tricked you with that one, because that screenshot was from July. Quite a bit of progress has been made by some players, and I'm really starting to believe a second FC on Satori de Pon will be coming soon. The Hard Rock and Hidden Hard Rock leaderboards were starting to show many more attempts from players since a few months ago, but the first major breakthrough was by the player 315 on November 13th, with a Hard Rock only play with nearly 1.2k combo. I must mention, the ending has a lot more tricky overlaps and tough to tap sections than the beginning, but getting 60% of the way to an FC is still very impressive, and was the best non-Informous score at the time. Then, a few days later, a player by the name of Treyarch came along, likely seeing 315's attempts and started grinding it himself. He got relatively quick results, with a very similar play to 315's on November 17th, but seemed to get stuck around the 1.1k combo mark. He came back though in mid-December with some more grinding, and managed to get another 1.1k combo play with Hidden Hard Rock, and an almost 1k combo Hard Rock play, both with much improved accuracy than his plays back in November. He still seems to be actively grinding this, so I don't expect this is where he stops. And now, when I was writing this, the global rank 79 player YurQ got a 1.8k combo Hidden Hard Rock run. just 200 combo off the FC. Unfortunately, he choked on a pretty nothing section after hitting basically every hard part. And well, that's how the leaderboard stands today. As more people play the map, I'm sure it'll encourage more people to shoot for the FC. It really doesn't seem like it takes any gimmicky skills to combo Satori de Pon, as it's just so different than any other map in the game. All you really need is the insane stamina requirement, and the patience to just thug it out and grind the map. Though, don't take that as me downplaying Informous' score. It truly is a one-of-a-kind score. I've already talked about why it's mechanically impressive, but I'd also like to mention how easy it was to FC for Informous. He only has 46 attempts on the map, which seems insanely low in a map that I feel takes a decent bit of learning to do well on. I'd like to believe he just had some talent for the patterns in Satori de Pon all along, but never had the chance to show it off, which is pretty badass. Almost like he's an anime character that's just been holding back all along. It's that mysterious talent for Satori de Pon that was so ahead of everyone else that's taken 3.5 years for anyone to come even close to matching, that makes Informous' hidden Hard Rock FC on Satori de Pon truly special.